to the PO3 podcast, featuring Jonathan Tovar, aka the Brownsville Yank, and Marcus Parks, the Sonic King. The PO3 podcast.
Bro, he's already seen this. Who does that look like? But who does it look like?
It looks like Mikey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. I mean, I would probably have taken me some time to figure out. Man, he's high as shit there.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Even the way he takes the picture.
Bro, I was just like, wait, I know him. I do know him.
That's not him?
I was like, Sosa Acai?
That's not.
No.
Oh, I saw him at Winco the other day. Not the other day.
Who, Andu?
Are we recording?
Yeah, we're live. We can just jump in whenever.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather have it like that. You where? What?
No, I saw him.
Are you coming? All right, but are you on?
Okay. I want to find that. No,
Just let me know when you're on.
It's too far back, bro. I screenshotted it at one point. You remember? And I posted it.
Just
I don't know. We have our own little language when we communicate.
what are you guys getting on?
Yeah, because Call of Duty, we'll play Call of Duty, and then because we always want to play, and every time we want to I jump on, I have to text him. I don't want to play that shit alone, so I text him, "Hey, are you getting on or what?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get on right now," and then I'll be like, "All right, cool. I just got off. Let me know when you get on, so I'll get back on." He's like, "All right, cool. I'm getting off." I was like, "All right, I'm on."
That's actually how Mikey's conversation and I goes with PUBG.
Yeah,
Except it's not me doing that. I'm like, oh, I'll be on right now, but I don't get on right now.
that's fucked up.
You coming? Yeah, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes go by. Hey, give me 5.
You're fucking on purpose.
No, well, bro, I'm just chilling, relaxing, and just I'm on TikTok, and I'm just scrolling. Like, fuck, 20 minutes went by. Hey, question mark, you coming or nah? Yeah, give me 5 minutes. And more scrolling.
hey, the funny part is he just sits there and waits.
Yeah, he does.
He's like,
and then the fucked up part, right?
yeah.
I get on, and he's AFK. What are you doing? Smoking a cigarette, bitch! You've been bugging me for the last 30 minutes to get on, and now you're not here.
Hey, he still smokes?
Like a chimney.
Fuck, dude. If he doesn't get lung cancer, I need to start yesterday. Because I like cigarettes.
He's
bless.
gonna have lung cancer.
God bless.
I mean, I hope he doesn't, but
No, I know. God bless.
But he smokes a lot. He smokes a lot, dude.
Ever since I known him, I think the first time I ever had a
Ever
cigarette
since I can remember,
was with you guys. We were
Mikey
at
be trying to get that cancer.
we were at the Starbucks parking lot, and he had a pack of Camel Crush.
And a skateboard?
Well, that's
And a
when
skateboard.
yeah. That's when the Crush just came out. The Camel Crush. You're like, hey, bro, you could crush it, and it turns into menthol.
I was actually just having that conversation today
No, you weren't.
with my mom.
Are you serious?
She was, isn't it weird that these things now they have buttons and you guys like, well, they've been out for like 14 years.
Yeah, a long time.
I was like, that's what got me into smoking cigarettes. And she goes, so I can see why they want to ban them.
Aside all the other reasons.
Well, yeah, because they draw a younger crowd in.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that was the first time I ever had a cigarette. But at that time, though, I didn't like it because I inhaled it and it burned the shit out of my lungs. Like, I just started coughing like crazy. It's a couple years off. And then I started vaping. I started with vaping. Remember, I walked into Sean's and I had that blue pen?
That we all fucking got like syphilis and that kissing disease shit because we just
Mono?
passed it around. Yeah.
Mono?
Is that a cold sore?
Is that? No, it was a... Oh, yeah, it's a cool sore. I never had one before. I tried to get a motherfucking scholarship. Yeah, every time I hit him up, too, I asked him, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just in here trying to get a motherfucking scholarship.
Where's that from?
Pineapple Express.
He's with his exercise ball. It's
Oh.
all
Had y'all for dinner. Fish tacos.
Yeah.
I still think my favorite part of the whole scene is like, this ends now. Just runs him into the fucking wall.
Wait, he's already down?
Head first.
Yeah.
Then they tape him with the duct tape. They have a little, I don't know, support beams.
Aaron, let's convince him to play Call of Duty with us, but he won't play. What? Yeah, and he's on PC. No, we're bots.
No, but
We're bots.
don't you guys get to pick whether or not you play with match up with PC people?
So I tried that yesterday, right? It takes a fucking hour to load a game. It's not even worth it.
So what game was I playing? Apex.
Mm-hmm.
I was playing Apex with some buddies of mine that were on console,
Yeah.
and they didn't realize that I was on PC, and then they were getting fucking smashed on, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And they start realizing everyone that they're playing against is PC because of me, and the games weren't fun for them because they were getting smashed on.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that to you guys.
It doesn't matter. I think it's just for the fun of it, though. Like, it really is just for the fun. The fact
but
that
you're gonna be raging though.
I mean, I don't rage. I don't get mad.
Everybody gets mad, bro.
I don't
Fuck
get
the
mad.
stupid fucking game.
I don't get mad. I get mad. I get really mad. You see this? That's from the controller.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Just gotta remind him, hey, you remember when we used to have fun?
Well, when Verdansk was around, it was fun. That's like, I remember when their game first came out. It was during quarantine too. I played 14 hours, I think, in one day. That's like,
Yeah, I played it when it launched. I didn't care for it.
No, that was my first FPS. Well, no, I lied. Halo was my first FPS, but that was my first BR.
It was, I mean, don't get me wrong, the game itself was good, but I just don't like how it takes like 500 shots to knock somebody.
I don't know. TTK is pretty fast, huh? Time to kill. It feels like it's fast.
No, it's not.
No? You think PUBG time to kill is faster?
I'm not comparing it to PUBG. I'm just comparing it to the actual game of Call of Duty. I'm comparing it to life, bro. In life, you have a fast gate TTK, bro. One shot, you're done, bro.
I think
Get
less.
sniped in the head by a car 90.
Yeah, you don't get to fucking crawl on your ass into cover.
I like
or-
how when they're down, they're just kind of like chilling, looking around like this.
Well, have you seen the thing they do with the emote where they flips you off?
Oh yeah, I have that one, Aaron.
But you
Come
could revive while you're doing that.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like you're sitting there flipping him off, and all of a sudden you just get up. And,
Yeah, he got up and he knifed him, and then he took like the whole squad out because the dude was like trying to troll him. He was teabagging him, and he was doing the emote, but he was reviving at the same time. Yeah. What was that?
I think the chair.
Oh, okay. Welcome back to the PO3 podcast. My name is Marcus. I'm seated here today with Jonathan Tovar, aka the Brownsville Yeti, aka the Michigan Mauler, aka the Albuquerque Assassin.
Yeah.
And I am Marcus Marks, aka the Sonic King, aka the Red Bull King, aka get the fuck off my porch.
Okay, Gran Torino.
Speaking of that, I remember the first time we watched it was at Mikey's.
Bro.
No, Andrews with Mikey.
How about fucking Elon acquired Twitter?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't
Oh yeah,
that
let's
some
talk about
shit?
that. Let's talk about that.
I think he's taking over McDonald's next to fix the ice cream machines.
That's a big scam.
They all work. They just don't want to fucking clean them.
No, you know the story of that, right?
About
The ice cream machines, why they're always broken. The conspiracy theory. It's actually not a conspiracy theory. Somebody like debunked it. Like it's intentional. The fact that they're always down.
well,
Because the people that actually go in and fix the ice cream machines work for McDonald's, so they're like directly profiting from the
Broken
machines
machine.
being broken. So
Um,
the more broken they are, the better.
I just came across a TikTok from an employee said that they're not broken. They just don't want to clean them.
Well, the way they well, no, that too, but the way they design the machines is so complex in order to reset it, because a lot of times it's just a malfunction and a flag that they have to like do some coding and clear the red flag and it'll fire right back up. It's never a mechanical issue. It's always just like some coding. But
It's all right. The McFlurries suck anyway.
you don't like McFlurries?
Nah, I'd rather go to fucking Foster's or something like that.
I love Oreo McFlurry.
Bro, you've had an Oreo McFlurry?
Mhm. Yeah, have you?
Yeah, when I was like 7 and when those things first came out. And
Yeah,
then-
they're still good.
They're still pretty fired.
Yeah.
You know what? After this podcast, we're
We're
going.
going to get a McFlurry.
a McFlurry.
Hey, the Butterfingers one's pretty.
Butterfinger, I think when you
That was
just add
gas.
M&M, because there's M&Ms too, and then you get the cookies and cream one.
Bro, we should get your fucking phone and turn it on him, bro, for the live stream.
We could, bro.
You get the cookies and cream, and it's a mixture of.
Yeah.
It's pure energy in a cup, dude. It's
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
amazing.
M&M's, the Marshall Mathers.
Hold on, I'll go live real quick on Instagram.
But anyway, yeah, Elon fucking got Twitter, bro. Free speech is back, people. Oh, yeah, well, on Twitter.
What's up, dude? You want to talk about Twitter?
Oh man, yes, Twitter. Let's leave it on Bernal, just in case. It's really like seeing a man stretch.
What the fuck is going on?
All right. Anyway, Elon Musk acquired Twitter.
Okay.
That's tight.
I'll take it.
Considering they didn't want to sell to him.
Yeah. I mean, if you got offered $44 billion, why wouldn't you take it, yo?
Bro, if you'd offered me like $200K, I'd be like, fucking sold.
Could offer me $100.
You pay my car off? Fuck yeah.
You could have Twitter. I'll give you the keys to the office.
Someone was saying, it was like, why doesn't he just go create his own app? He's a billionaire. I was like, well, the footwork is already done. The hardest stuff is already done. Why wouldn't he just buy something that's already built?
He's bringing back Trump? You think he's going to bring back everyone that's been censored on there, that's been kicked off, that's been beaten?
I think it's going to be dependent on what they were kicked off for.
So answer his question because they can't hear it on his end. I mean, rephrase, like, say his question and answer it.
So Bernal Dahad wanted to know if we believe that Aaron Bernal Dahad.
I'll bleep your name. I could bleep it. I got the power.
You don't want your name?
No, it's fine. I'll bleep it.
Well, Bernal Dahad.
Chancho.
Aaron wanted to know if, since Elon has acquired Twitter, if he's going to bring back Trump. Or everyone that's been removed from their platform. I honestly think it's going to be dependent on what exactly they were banned for.
Yeah.
However, I mean, Trump saying mean things that were mean to people, I don't think that Elon's going to have too much.
This goes back to the censoring issue, remember, that we were talking about?
Yeah, well, he was saying shit they didn't like, so they banned Trump. So I don't think Elon's going to have too much like thought about it.
Yeah.
He'll be like, yeah, fuck it, come back.
Uh-huh. I mean, it's Elon. He's pretty like free-minded, open-minded that way.
He's all about no regulation.
Yeah, he wants people to just have fun, be themselves for the most part. Like he doesn't want like fake bullshit. He's like a realist.
I mean, granted, he did say that like there needs to be some government intervention on certain areas, like with him and AI.
Yeah.
He says there needs to be a governing body to make sure that,
and he's 100%
Skynet
sure.
doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, he's 100% sure that it will happen if we
Exactly.
don't start regulating it somehow.
But when it comes to other stuff, though, he's like, dude, no, I don't like regulation. I don't like someone telling me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
And I mean, that falls on Twitter's lap. They were, if you didn't say the shit that they liked, then they would remove you.
Yeah.
And if you're a regular person, yeah, you don't have that big. It's an inconvenience to you, but you don't have like a massive following. But if you're someone that has a massive following, then they remove your account.
So here's where they were saying it gets dangerous with a platform like Twitter and free speech and not regulating stuff like that, like not having any type of censorship. Well, Twitter is like a universal platform that anybody can get their hands on and tweet from, right? Well, they're saying that people who are very charismatic in positions of power, such as let's just say Putin, for example, we probably shouldn't be giving people with charisma and large amounts of firepower the ability to just have a bullhorn that says whatever they want to say and distributes it into people's homes in a second.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with it? Why not?
I think that's the purpose of the platform.
It's just because like it doesn't take much to convince people, especially if you're already charismatic.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
but it also
and
doesn't
gain a following.
But when you start saying or allowing or censoring what can and can't be said, then people are only going to get one source of what to believe.
So you want both sides of it. And
I
you want to
want-
be able to just make your own decision.
I want
yourself.
to take in whatever the topic may be. It could be about fucking chapstick. All right, the pros and cons of chapstick. I don't want someone to decide what I get to read. I'd rather me get to decide what I choose to read and then make a decision based off of the information that I'm able to obtain, not by someone regulating because someone's charismatic and therefore they have a higher probability of influence on my decision.
Yeah, I think it's for me personally, I feel like if we give that up, you give them an inch, they take a mile. I feel like it's that type of situation. The minute they start getting their hands on stuff like Twitter and censoring that, they're gonna just roll it over into the next thing. Like, all right, what's next? What else are we gonna start censoring? And they're just gonna keep going from there slowly and incrementally.
I don't disagree with that at all. I think that's a very valid and true statement.
Like, sure enough.
However, Twitter is a private entity, so they can do whatever the hell they want.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that too.
So it's kind of like a double-edged sword because how do you fucking want? Like, I'm all against like government intervention in most things. Like, yeah, they're there to do certain things and provide certain services, but they shouldn't have their fingers, ingrained in every aspect of your life. That's just my personal belief. But when it comes to running the company, such as social media or media in general, like, should you have a government regulating? Because again, and that comes down to like a form of censorship, in my opinion.
It is a form of censorship.
You can't say this or this, but you can say everything in between. Well, now you're still putting a cap on it. But I think if you're going to be a true company when it comes to dispersing information, then you should remain have integrity and allow anything to be said as long as it's not a call to action. That's where I think things that needs to be regulated. And that's already regulated by law.
Like a real threat.
Yeah, like you can't go into like an airport and say bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to incite hysteria.
Mhm.
Or if you go onto any social media platform and say, I want you guys to do X to this person or this group, whatever it may be. Okay, yeah, remove it, ban them.
It's just a platform for freedom of opinion.
But if I want to sit there and discuss my opinion, it shouldn't be regulated by somebody, even if it is the company itself that's doing it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we should all be able to be entitled to our own genuine opinions.
And then exactly. And I could be going off on a conspiracy theory topic too on this, but
As far
I also
as
believe...
How would you say that?
Well, what I was going to say was, who's to know that I'm Twitter, the guy that runs Twitter, and you're a politician of some sort, and we'll use Trump as an example. He's saying a bunch of stuff that's getting a movement going. Hey, let me slide you some cash, and you can start monitoring what he says. He's getting too influential. The conspiracy theory mean I don't know that that's happening, but is it too far off to assume that could be a likely potential thing that does happen? I would say, in my opinion, yeah.
I would say it's already happening.
There you go. So that's my point. Like, if you're gonna own a company or run a company that's, like I said, dispersing information to the people, then as long as you're not allowing call to action, like where it's gonna cause harm to a person or group, a building, establishment, whatever, then it should be allowed to remain there.
What about subliminally though?
What do you mean?
Like, what if somebody it was not necessarily a call to action or an immediate threat in those words exactly, but what if it was just like subliminal messages to people, trying to brainwash them? I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's up to you to pick and choose what you believe in, right?
You know what I'm saying?
But we can't help the fact there are those idiots who are going to believe it. Like,
but
the reason there are so many regulations on everything, and on the backs of Lysol cans, it says don't drink it because there's idiots who have drank it before and then sued the shit out of the company.
Yeah, and the company was responsible for it. But I think that no, I don't buy the subliminal message bullshit. If you're dumb enough to do something, then that action falls on your head. That falls in your lap.
It is a loophole.
But I think it's one that shouldn't be in place. I mean, you can say that about anything. Anyone that's a group of gamers.
Yeah.
I subliminally got them to follow my channel.
Yeah, but I feel like that happens a lot though with certain things. Like cults, for example. That's how a lot of cults are formed. They pretend like they're not pitching you like, hey, come follow me for these reasons. They just present themselves in a certain way that gets them.
And then when they start asking you to do a bunch of dumb shit, that still falls on your lap.
It really is up to you. And again, I can't help the people that are stupid enough to fall for that. Like, what do we, like, yeah, you made your own bed, man. You got to lie in it, That's
how I see it. So to me, it's no different than blaming a gun.
Yeah.
Or now that
guns don't kill people. My cousin does.
California, I think they just no, excuse me, not California. Where did Sandy Hook happen? Was it Florida?
I don't know. You want to look it up? Google.
I think Sandy Hook was in Florida. Anyway, they passed a law wherever the hell Sandy Hook was out of the country, where now they're allowed to sue the gun manufacturer for the deaths of the people. What the hell did they have to do with it? They provided an object, an item, but why? Or is it
Connecticut?
Okay, so Connecticut passed a law where they can now. So they're suing. I think it's Smith and Wesson. I could be mistaken. What the hell they got to do with it? That's like you suing Toyota for a drunk driver killing your family member. Yeah, they made the vehicle, but they didn't put the person behind the wheel drunk in their vehicle and make them go. You know what I'm saying?
Murder wasn't the intent of that vehicle, you know.
So I can say murder wasn't the intent of the gun.
No, but that's the point though. It's like what you did with it is on you. You know what I mean? That should fall on you, not us.
So that's what I'm saying. So I said that to bolster my argument with whether you're a cult and you're easily convinced of one thing or another, and you do something stupid or heinous that results in loss of life or property damage or whatever you want to call it, that's on you. If the person wasn't explicitly saying go do X, you know what I'm saying? Okay, if you read it and you took it a certain way, then that's on you. I don't buy, because then again, if you can't have it both ways, you can't say, well, we're going to do some stuff, we can't regulate others, because then where does it end?
I feel like at some point too, though, we have to like at least demonstrate to the masses, and I don't even know, I don't want to say in schools at some point, but like how to not be so impressionable and how to think and pick your battles.
That's what colleges used to be about.
Yeah,
it's critical thinking.
Critical thinking, yes. So it already exists.
It used to.
Saying. Yeah,
that's what Jordan Peterson was talking about.
Okay, good point then. So, but I feel like that needs to be taught in order for people to be a little bit safer out there when it comes to making decisions, you know?
I agree. But again,
because we can't help the fact that people are buying into this shit.
I mean, we can use our little platform as an example.
Yeah.
At what point does YouTube get to determine what we say and what we can't say?
They already do.
But my point being is, should they? Because anything that we discussed here, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's controversial because we have covered COVID and we've covered a lot of different things, but we're just talking about it.
But it's also, again, it's another private entity.
No, that's my point though. But that's where it comes to the company having integrity when it comes to the pursuit of truth.
Yeah, what kind of company do you want to be?
Because at the end of the day, us having discussions, yeah, it could be offensive to a known party. It could be offensive to you, but for us to find the truth, we have to have these uncomfortable discussions and conversations to get down to the brass tacks to figure out how do we tackle any given problem that we're discussing. But you have to be able to have those conversations. And there's a higher probability you and I aren't the only ones having these types of discussions. And so if we're going to be on a podcast discussing this stuff, we're not saying to the camera or any of the viewers that we have, this is how you need to believe. We're just having a dialogue between the both of us. We're having discourse. And they can take with it what they will, whether they disagree with us, agree with me, or you and not me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it should be about. And the company's job, in my opinion, should be, as long as they're not telling people to go do something stupid, whatever it is, even if they're saying stuff like, bro, okay, flat earthers, they're allowed to have a fucking platform. Yeah. They're the dumbest people in the world, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And so, like,
you gotta censor that out.
So my point being,
I want the smoke, bro. Fuck you, flat earthers.
So my point being is, like, there's been plenty of documentation via pictures. I mean,
you can see the curvature of the earth when you're in a plane or even on a building.
Mathematical equations to prove. You know what I'm saying? There's just so many, but no. So again, should they? Because technically, what they're, in my opinion, well, not my opinion, I would say it's fact.
Yeah.
What they're saying is misinformation. Shouldn't they be removed from YouTube and all that?
That's a good point, because there are a lot of people, just because you believe it doesn't make it true, you know? And now it's misinformation because it's
but they're allowed to be there.
It's a documented
fact. If you and I had, reverse about the clock about a year, having discussions about COVID would have got you flagged.
Well, here's the thing. Everything that they're deciding to regulate is all arbitrary, in my opinion.
And that's why that's where the integrity comes into
exactly.
play.
Yeah, that's where I agree with you there 100%, because I feel like at what point, do they decide, hey, I'm just going to arbitrarily decide to censor X, fill in the blank, you know what I mean?
And that's my big, and so to me, to go back to the whole, where it all started with Elon, that was his thing, is freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You know, he bought arguably one of the biggest social media platforms, and now he's free to say what he wants without having the possibility of his Twitter account being banned because he owns the damn company.
People are gonna come with the angle like, oh yeah, we can't ban you on Twitter, but we can cancel you. That ain't gonna happen. He's too big. He's too smart. He's
you
too
know what I'm
smart.
saying? And so I just hope that what he did with Twitter in acquiring it
Is a good thing.
It's gonna have a cascade effect into other social media platforms.
So do you think he's taking like the reins on as far as how to approach certain, like we'll see how he approaches the situation.
I'll put it
and
this
if
way,
people
bro,
follow.
because Aaron earlier brought it up about like liberals and stuff, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of conservatives had to go make their own platforms like Rumble and I forgot the other one. That's to me, that's a dog. Okay, so if you guys didn't hear what he said, it's basically the liberal minded people with Elon taking over Twitter. They're now scared that they're going to be the ones being censored and what they can and can't say. So however, I think that's coming from an irrational state of mind, and basically they feel they're in a corner and they're lashing out because everything he's ever said and done has been like, no, it's all about free speech. As long as you're say what you got to say, I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just coming from an irrational thing. But my point being with this is the fact that conservative-minded people had to go make their own platforms. I can't remember the other one, but I know Rumble's one of them. Doesn't have the following that
I've never even heard of it.
That Facebook, Instagram, you name it, has. But the people that are going to that platform, they all think the same. So it doesn't do you any good because you're not reaching new minds and you're not, giving people another piece of information that might change their opinion on something.
It's a biased platform, so it's already flawed right from the beginning.
But that was their only outlet to actually discuss the topics they wanted to discuss. Because
amongst your own people who believe the same shit. So where's the controversy? Like where is the challenge in thinking?
They're not. But the point in that was if they did that conversation, they try to have those conversations on
outside, on a third party platform.
No, on the big platforms.
Okay,
Instagram, whatever. They were being censored. If your channel was monetized, you were no longer monetized. And like there's a guy that I follow, his podcast I've referenced a handful of times on here, Patrick McDavid, one of his co-hosts or whatever you want to call him, one of his workers, his employees, he's a libertarian. He's not left or right. He's in the middle. And Facebook removed, he had an account that had like, I don't know, 200K, 300K followers, monetized, making pretty good money. They took his monetization away. They banned him.
See, that's where it gets crazy.
And he was in the middle. You see what I'm saying? So when you try to have these discussions on a forum that has people from varying political spectrums, where the information that you might be presenting may help somebody make a better decision, well, you're not saying the kind of stuff that we want to be said or to be heard. Therefore, we're going to make it impossible for you to reach these new people. So what they said, fine, we'll go make our own platform. But again, it becomes an echo chamber because the only people that are going to be there are the people that know that it exists because they're all on the same page.
It's a vicious circle.
It
feels like go ahead. Sorry.
So what I hope Elon is going to be able to do with this is show, look what happens when you actually have people that can have differing opinions.
Yeah.
We can actually probably get some resolution for all the damn crap we got going on.
I don't know how backed up like Newsweek is. Like I don't know that platform. I don't know if it's like a legit source or whatever. But it says that Truth Social, which is Trump's his app, it actually is currently beating Twitter and TikTok on the Apple Store.
I'm sure I'm not going to deny it. You know what I'm saying? But again, the people that are going to be there are probably all Trump supporters. It's not going to be somebody that's on the opposite aisle that's going to be willing to go to that.
The thing is that it's a free speech, so Trump is, obviously they allow anybody to be in there. So that's what is good about it.
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm hoping with the platforms that exist that have the biggest followings, we'll see, hopefully Twitter becomes a space where people from different points of view can hash out arguments and it stays there. So you being, I don't know, you're just randomly scrolling through Twitter one day, come across the feed. Oh, crap. This is a pretty interesting discussion. And they're both making good points. Who the hell do I pick? All the more reason for them to be, it'll spark an interest and hopefully they'll delve further into it and obtain their own opinion.
Yeah.
that's all I want out of it, because
And if that does happen, which I hope that happens, you know what I mean? Because people can learn a thing or two from that.
yeah, I agree. So that's what I hope this whole Elon thing sparks, is like a mutual table that people with varying opinions can sit at and have a discussion and not have to worry about you saying something that's going to get your post removed.
It feels like it's like slowly when they're trying to censor stuff like that and have real people have, you know, arguments over real issues in life or whatever's going on in the world, whatever event you want to bring up. If you're preventing people from combating their opinions, I feel like it's like slowly but surely leaning towards like a dictatorship type of style of ruling.
Because now it's propaganda at that point.
Yeah, because you know how in North Korea they feed them fake news and stuff in order to get them to believe that Kim Jong-un is the alpha, the omega, and they have like all kinds of like weird made up shit that is not real. Like they don't know anything about the real world, like the real shit that's going on. I feel like if we're not careful and we start taking away the things that allow us to have our true opinions, it's gonna slowly start inching towards that way.
I
think that's
couldn't have said it better.
I think that's the fear, though, right? That people like Elon are having.
I think it's the fear that a lot of intellectuals are having.
Yeah, so people like Jordan Peterson and Elon Musk is like, we need to pay attention to the wavelength of thinking that they're on. I mean, these are the smartest people in the world. If you're not listening to them, who the hell are you going to listen to? The flat earthers?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I would say that these guys are in a similar realm, although they would probably disagree, as like Nietzsche. Nietzsche, right? I heard a quote that he said today is like, most people confuse justice with revenge.
Yeah.
Talk about a level of deep that I was like, holy shit. Usually when people think of justice, is getting even with the person that did something to somebody, right?
I think it's just setting things back in balance.
Well, no, my
justice.
That's what it should be, but people often conflate the two. And my point bringing that up is, I would say a lot of these intellectuals are come from the same caliber of thinking that Nietzsche comes from. Right? Yeah.
Jordan Peterson for sure.
And so, And so when you have people that are that intellectual saying, guys, the writing's on the walls, we've as a human species, we've been there, done this before. It's looming in the future if we don't start to take corrective action now. You got people like that saying that kind of stuff. I think it's worth listening to.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, man, I agree with you. I think slowly but surely we inch toward that dictator style thing if we start allowing people to regulate what we get told and what conversations we're allowed to have.
Yeah, that's like if you just went somewhere, you're sitting in a cafe or a Starbucks or whatever, and me and you are having this same conversation right now, and somebody came in and arrested us for that.
Bingo.
What kind of, you want to live in that world?
Hell no.
It's the same thing. It's just cyber. It's online. You know what I mean? It's the same exact thing. People are just communicating via a platform. So you're telling me that I can't have these conversations in person either? So what's the difference of me having the conversation with you on a platform versus actual in person? Where's the fucking line? Like it doesn't make any sense.
That's why I agree with you, dude. And that's why I'm saying, like, you can't have a little bit. You either have none of it or all of it.
That's why I'm saying it's like arbitrary, and there's a huge gray area and shit that they're like. Give me an explanation as to why. Convince me. Tell me why I can't do it.
I'm not saying there's going to be people that would use these platforms for shitty purposes.
Benevolence, yeah.
I'm not saying that there's not going to be people that aren't going to be dickheads about it and offend, people.
At the end of the day, it's their opinion.
But it's, to me, 100%.
Racial slurs and shit like that, that's aside though, because like I don't want to give some fucking asshole the platform to go out and say shit like that.
It's but now we're getting to that arbitrary area.
Yeah.
Because now you're regulating what someone can't say. To me, let them. They're just going to expose themselves as being the asshole that they are.
Right? And those people usually get taken care of.
And that's my point. So like the world has a weird way of fucking finding balance.
Yeah.
So you know what? You're going to go out there and say some stupid shit like that. All right, more power to you, man.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised when you have the masses outside your door looking for you.
Like, remember that one? What was that shit that happened? Like, somebody was being racist on Twitter, and then all of a sudden, hella people were just outside that person's house.
I mean, that's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like
an hour later.
Like I'm not saying go beat people up, but
I would never say that.
But again, you start saying, well, yeah, well, this kind of speech isn't acceptable. We'll go back to that arbitrary line. Okay. But to me, all they're going to do is show the world what kind of person they are.
Yeah. Their true colors.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like what Jordan Peterson said about the whole don't write papers to
please.
Water
or something? You good?
I'm good. Don't write papers to please your professor.
Yeah.
It's the same thing because why? Because slowly over time, you change who you are.
Fragments.
Right? So if you're, I'm not a racist, but your whole damn the last 6 years on everything you post on social media has been a racist. So yeah, you're probably a fucking racist. You know, and it's going to be hard to backtrack all that history that you've, and mind you, the internet doesn't forget. Once it goes out there, it's up there.
Yeah.
Someone somewhere screenshotted something stupid we've all said.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in existence there. You know, you can delete it and it'll pop up. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get rid of it once it's there. So to me, go ahead. You want to say some dumb shit online about a racial group?
At your own risk, huh?
Go ahead. But you're just going to show the whole damn world, and you'd be quickly, especially in today's climate, how quickly something like that was going to spread like wildfire.
So how do you feel about the whole cyberbullying thing then? Like if it was your children going out into the world, would you want to give children the power to just openly say whatever they want to potentially your child?
They do anyway in school.
That's a good point. They do anyway already. But okay, so how do we coach them? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think that's gonna have to come down to an individual parent. I mean, for me, man, like I think it's best to show when your kid's able to understand, obviously, the things that come with being a human and being a part of this world. But hey, man, this is what the world's like. You're gonna have people that are gonna come across people that are gonna tell you mean things.
You don't want to sugarcoat that shit either.
You know, because you can't give it to them blunt.
No,
because it'll likely scare them.
Small doses,
but you got like the same way you get inoculated for ailments. You know, slow doses here and there, and before you know, you have an immunity to it.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe my opinion's wrong on that particular subject, but I feel kids they still get bullied at school.
Mm-hmm.
Online. If you're, I mean, hell, I think
then we need character coaching, man.
I'm sure it's hard for a parent with work and raising children to be there to sit there and accurately monitor your child's every move.
Yeah.
But dude, come on, it's 2022. I'm pretty sure any kid that has a phone is going to have some type of account on some type of media platform.
Yeah.
Now phones come with a bunch of parental settings where you can monitor their usage. You can turn off their phone or Xbox after a certain time.
It's more customizable now.
You can monitor them. So if you're going to allow your child to have a device that has access to the world via internet, it would be in your best interest and your child's best interest to sit there and monitor it. Not like be a tyrant over it, but hey, man, like, what the hell is this about? You know, because they might be saying stuff. They might be looking stuff up they shouldn't be looking up. They might actually be having confrontations with another child that's, bullying. You can get involved with that. But bullying already happens in flesh. So to me, it's no different.
Yeah, see, because I wouldn't want to live in a world where I'm sugarcoating it for them. Yeah, that's to a certain extent. Yeah, I think you should let kids be kids, for sure.
Hold on, thought. What do you think?
You want to reiterate?
And
reiterate what he said.
Okay, so again, I apologize for those of you. I don't know
we
if
have
you
a
can
guest.
hear what he said. But we asked him his opinion on the bullying thing, and he said it's hard as a parent to monitor everything, but he also recognizes it's going to happen regardless whether it's on a phone or in person, and that as a parent, you kind of have to let your child get exposed to the horrors of the world, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
If you cradle your child, there's a tendency for them to do the exact opposite of what your intention is with them. So,
yeah, because you don't want to make them soft, right?
You don't want to hover over them all day.
But at the same time, you want to give them their space.
Let them be independent on their own to learn things. I mean, I'm not saying to expose them to,
of course.
But if you have the ability to monitor them on their phone and prevent things like sexual predators out there, do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you need to do.
But I think that's to a certain extent, though. Like I was saying, like I think you should let kids be kids to a certain extent. Like they need to have that You only experience this shit once, man. That Easter Bunny, Santa Claus shit, it only lasts for so long. And then sure enough, slowly but surely, you're gonna have to start slowly exposing them to the world. And like the realism and the real shit that goes on in the world. Like not everything is Santa Claus and Easter baskets. Like there's some dark shit that goes on. But it's like, how do you feed that to them and show that to them?
We're living a different time than when we grew up because obviously, I didn't get my first cell phone until I was in high school.
Yeah, same here.
So, kids have been exposed, in this generation from birth, tablets and phones and stuff. And so it's a different generation, but I still think a lot of things remain true. You let them go out there and scrape their elbows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just be there as much as you can. It's a delicate dance, bro. Like I said, I don't think you want to be too oppressive on your child. My point being though was just I don't think, again, because we were talking about access to say whatever you want, whether it's a child or not. Just because you're a child doesn't mean you don't have rights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, that's a really good point.
I think that's what it comes down to. Again, maybe I'm
freedom of speech applies to them too.
But again, there still comes that arbitrary area that you mentioned earlier, where it gets gray. To me, in this particular area, gray's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's not. It leaves too many. Yeah, it's not.
I think it comes down to if you don't want your kid on Instagram, Facebook, then you got to try really hard to let them do it. And if you're going, and if they're going to have one, then I don't know. I'm not a parent. You know what I'm saying? And so I just feel like it's hard to say. I'm just trying to think of it as many potential ways as I can.
I just feel like it's important for everyone to understand the why and behind things. The why as far as to like, what is the point of you regulating this stuff? Like why?
It's toxic. The internet is a toxic place to live. Like if you're on it and kids have access to their phones 24/7, other than being in school, it's a toxic place for a kid to learn something. You know what I mean? Like
it is a big distraction as well.
It's a big distraction, yes, but what I mean by toxic is that if you're trying to raise your child to be a certain way in life, have morals, certain morals that you abide by, that you want them to abide by, and then they go see something online that's just corrupt, like all that work that you're doing to putting into your child, they're learning it from someone else, and it's toxic. Like that's not the way that you're raised. So yeah, monitoring your kids, and I forgot where I was going with this, but monitoring your kids is what you need to do on their cell phones. Like you want to teach them a way of life, like the way that they should be living. You got to monitor their stuff, like 100%.
And again, to argue, I guess against that, that's what you can do with a phone. When they go to school, you ain't monitoring a damn person they're coming into contact with. No, but that's my point though. Is like the influence is out there regardless of the phone. However, with the access to the amounts of information that are on this damn thing, you need to monitor your kid. There's a lot of nasty shit out there that a child can see.
But at the end of the day, it is real.
I understand that it's real, but you got to think, dude. I think the reason we think today's is a worse place than it was 40 years ago is because of exposure.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, it's always been there. If anything, it was worse back then because you were able to hide it easier.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't think the world is that different in that regard. But it is exposure, and you get it all gets funneled down into your little handheld device. So, I know we got off on a tangent from where we started, but I think free speech, as long as you're not calling for action, and
I want to keep elaborating on this. I think it's important.
As long as you're not doing that, if you want to be a dickhead online, then more power to you. Go ahead.
Have you ever experienced like cyberbullying yourself or not? Nothing like that. I just remember back then we used to go post shit on each other's pages when one was away from the computer and our account was open. Remember?
Yeah,
Mikey.
Yeah, he would always leave his on, and then he would be the idiot that did like the remember me. Yeah, like Yamabayo. Yeah, and yeah, he was.
Can we get the other screenshot of it, or so I can plug it?
No.
Yeah.
Again, he was also the guy that would also hit remember me. So when he was gone, all I had to do was just click it. It would autofill his
what?
password and his email.
Oh, okay. The remember me.
Yeah, so like even if he wasn't signing like click, guess what?
Hey, man, Mikey, if you're watching this,
He knows.
oh, he did.
Because he went through and caught it.
I'm just saying, if you're watching this,
He's
good
not watching
times.
it.
Good times.
He's asleep right now.
No, I'm gonna make this a clip and make sure he sees it.
But
Watch this while you're smoking a cigarette, man. This clip here.
yeah.
I remember you in particular. You always used to put shit on his profile and
Oh yeah. I remember they had like on MySpace they had the comment spam where like if you hit comment like 100 times before it actually loaded the comment, it would post it that many times. So like people leave comments like, "Hey Mikey, it was cool hanging out with you this weekend, riding dirt bikes and shit." All right, cool. Then I would come with like a D pic or something stupid or insult toward him, and I would just spam it. So it took up his entire comment bank of the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
yo, MySpace was the shit, dude. I missed MySpace. Like that shit was tight. Like
Everyone became like little coders.
yeah, you remember how like I never got that far. I just loved it because I was able to post my stupid beats at the time and put them on like on my own profile as my own music, as my shit, and then you would have like your top 8 or something like that, top 20 if you're really cool.
Yeah, I mean, people get a hella salty. How come that you're my number one, but I'm not your number one?
But everybody had Tom as their number one.
Well, you started.
No, but like no, for like they just kept it like that.
I deleted him from
You
MySpace.
did?
Yes.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just a loser.
He was just all. Yeah, he was all.
I'm gonna. What else was cool about MySpace?
Well, the songs.
Like the customization was just crazy. Like
They had those like MySpace generators where you would like put a picture in there and it would type all the code out for it. So you just put it in the bio box and it would like change your borders to green and black and you know.
yeah, that top 8 or the top 5 was like hella controversial in high school. It's like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
shit, somebody got moved. Like what? What happened, dude? What?
There was a top 4 at one point. Like
Yeah, I think you can go down to like a super low number and then a pretty damn high number.
You remember
Yeah.
who your top 5 were?
Top 5? No, I mean, I think I was one of those that had like the top 15. It was like you, fucking Ian, Andrew, Sean, whatever chick I was talking to at the time. Which none. But
Yo, I remember back like when you used to come over, bro. Like that's when MySpace was like popping and shit. And I was always like on the computer, like messing with my MySpace and stuff. I was like, hey, bro, you think I should have this picture up there? Like, what do you think? Like,
and you're
should I
like, I don't
change
give a fuck. Like,
No,
oh,
he,
it looks-
no,
it
he
looks
was like
good.
into it. He was into it.
I was definitely into it.
Bro, I had the dumbest picture like at one point for my profile pic. It was me propane. I was like laying down
Propane
on
accessories.
I was laying down on a recliner and the angle was like way up here and my hat was like to the side and shit. I was like trying to like pose like what the fuck was I doing, bro? Yeah, no, everything. Oh,
Bro, I look back from a post from like last year and I'm like, cringe.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. I'll find pictures like that I used to take, like, yeah, not that long ago, like with like a few years, and I'm just like, dude, how did you have friends? Like 100%. How? Like, how did this happen? Like, oh, thank God. Like, but I want to keep those pictures though to remind me, like, don't go be that person again. It's scary shit, bro.
I got
Evolve.
piss.
Go ahead, go pee. I'll wrap it up. We're already at an hour.
Cool. I'll just end it.
No, go for it. Yeah, I'm gonna sit here and bullshit with Aaron. Go.
All right, be back.
So last time you were here, I remember I was telling you we were actually on the way to the Jordan Peterson thing. I was like, damn, bro, we're almost to 70.
Yeah.
So we're like 2 away from 100 now.
No shit.
Yeah. So we're almost. So we're slowly starting to get like the exposure.
Well, I saw we had
Over
like 130 comments or 160 comments. And
Yeah, and it's still going too. So yeah, but I wanted to real quick before we wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up right now. Say thank you to everybody who's been interacting with us in the comments and stuff, and
yeah,
dropping
it
the
was
likes.
A lot of
and-
love in the last one, so that
Yeah.
was pretty cool. It was
Yeah.
a nice change of pace.
Yeah, well, slowly but surely, man. I told you I had to get on as far as like networking and stuff like that go, and like just putting ourselves out there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And
Like you actually pinned a comment that was pretty tight.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that more because the more episodes we do, the more exposure we're gonna get and stuff. It's just like once you actually get into the algorithm, it gets a lot easier as long as you keep putting the work in.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's why I was really excited to come here today because I've been following it pretty closely.
Yeah, well, so have I. Like every single day, and I've been making it a point to get up every single day and just do some networking and stuff, and just because it's. At some point, like if you want to grow as a channel, you just got to put that work in.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I wasn't doing before. But it's a learning, you know, there's a lot of trial and error, you know, a lot of learning curve. I've never done YouTube like this before other than my music channel. But I didn't really have to do much on that. Like, because it was different back in the day. Like the algorithm was way different. And then the adpocalypse happened. So I was just getting, it was just a way different world. But now it requires a little bit more science and stuff like that. But there's plenty of ways to go about gaining, you know, subs and, you know, interacting with people. So it's cool though to see the growth, you know, because we're gonna look back on these hopefully and just be like, damn man, like humble times, you know, humble beginnings.
Yeah, I agree. It was cool, man, seeing the view count go up. Again, like on a grand scale of thing, not that high, but for us, it was a massive success.
I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah,
man.
It was a massive success, man. And then the amount of conversation down in the comments was cool. So I know he said it and maybe I ain't said it enough, but hell appreciate all the support we've been getting from this last one. And hopefully the trend continues.
Yeah, and it will 100%. I just wanted to throw that out there and thank you guys for viewing and being a part of the community and stuff. Because at the end of the day, we are trying to spread positivity, you know, and have our own opinion, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the PO3.
The Browns spaghetti and the guy in the chair.
Marcus, yo.
Deuces.